One of the absolute worst things you can do in Rocket League is make decisions with a lack of awareness. At the end of the day, your decisions are based on three things: your awareness of your teammates, your awareness of your opponents, and your awareness of what is going on in the play overall. And if you make decisions without being aware of those things, you can find yourself in a lot of awkward spots. So in today's video, we'll be discussing how you can make better decisions through a higher level of awareness. And real quick, before we do get started, if you guys are interested in having one of your own replays analyzed, make sure you check out my Discord, which is linked down in the description, as I do offer free coaching through there. Okay. Yeah. You just gotta be faster. One of the things that I noticed when watching like the first half of this is that you have good ideas, you're just not fast enough to act on them. Because you have a great idea, like you have a free wall, so sure, if you're gonna go to the wall here, you gotta go with pace. Because if you just inch along at this speed, like your opponent's just gonna see this and go, okay, there's no way I'm just gonna let you take this wall for free. And if you want to go this slow, then fine, I'll just go take the ball off of you. And yeah, you can see, like, he's watching you the whole time. He's just like, are you gonna go, or are you just gonna sit there with the ball? When this touch becomes available, just jump up, flip into this thing, get it to the wall fast. If you get on the top part of the ball and flip into it, it'll just roll up the wall. Then you can just follow it up, grab the boost, and now you have whatever play you want to go for. But going this slow is almost always going to result in the opponent cutting you off. Okay, so you got 49 boost. You do not need to go all the way back there. It is totally fine for you to just turn this way because your teammate has control of the ball over here. Like, he's gonna have more than like another touch. So we don't want to run away from the play, because all that does then is it says to our teammate, good luck, you're gonna go try to win a 2v1. And the problem with this, because it can also end up putting you in a really bad spot then. So your teammate goes for some kind of play to put the ball somewhere where maybe you are to play it. If you're all the way in the corner, in your own corner, and your teammate like somehow loses possession of the ball and it goes to your opponents, you now have the entire field to defend because you went back for boost when you didn't need it. So if you ever have like 36 or more boost, don't go commit for a big boost. Just turn upfield, look for whatever pads you can get on whatever path you're taking. Don't run away from the play to get boost. It just normally results in a lot of space. Because as you can see here, you went all the way back for that boost. Now look at all the space that's been created for this guy to take a play on the ball. If you had turned upfield instead of going back, there's a chance you could have already challenged this ball. If you had just gone this way, like let's just say you were here. Hey, look, that guy's super awkward on his recovery. You very easily could have just gone for this. And it would have been your ball because you would have been facing the play. You would have been able to go fast. But instead of being here, able to keep the pressure on your opponents and challenge the ball, you are all the way over there, which now means he has time to get that awkward touch, recover on the wall, come down, set up his dribble, get control of the ball, and now take you in a 1v1. Yeah, a little bit more aggressive on the turn up. Don't be afraid to stay in the play, even if you don't have full boost. Then right here, don't panic. It's just a completely unnecessary jump. And this is when we talk about like looking at your opponents. So based on this angle, with where he is in relation to the ball and how fast this is going downfield, we should already know that he has negative control. There is no control going on with this guy right here. With that in mind, and even if you did have control, you don't want to jump as quickly as you did because you end up jumping facing over this way. So the most important thing on these jumps is to make sure that you jump in the direction that you actually want to be going. And in your case, you jump a little bit before you probably should. You're still turned towards the net, which isn't the worst thing, but it means that you're kind of like not really in line with where this ball is actually going. But alternatively, you could also just stay on the ground for a bit longer. Like, nothing says you need to jump immediately, especially when your opponent doesn't really have perfect control of the ball. And that's kind of the biggest thing you always need to consider is like when someone goes up into the air, your first question is, do they actually have control? Because if they don't have like any further control or any ability to change the ball's trajectory, you don't need to dive into the air at things. You can just wait, follow where the trajectory is going, and cut it off once it gets towards the ground, rather than jumping early and putting yourself in an awkward spot. Because again, if we looked at it this way, if you just don't jump and just stay on the ground, like, that's a free 50, and much easier to get that 50 as opposed to this one. Good touch off the backboard. I think this is a goal. Yeah, that's a really nice pass. Just hitting the ball around the opponents. That's really good. The one thing I'll say right here is that it worked because we're in diamond. This touch should be kept closer to your car. This is another one where you don't want to flip into it because you want to be able to recover off of this touch and get back to the ball. In a higher rank, you flip into this, you give up possession like this guy is not going to struggle to control this. He is just going to catch it in this corner and take it past you. Or have some kind of 50-50. He's not going to give the ball back to you for free. So this works here, will not work later on. So start adjusting to taking softer touches when you recognize that there's massive areas of space between where the initial challenge is happening and where the follow-up is. Because there is, like, this challenge is happening at midfield. There are other players back on the back line. If you just take a light touch here, there's so much space to play with that you would easily be able to get back to this ball, and then you'd have a 1v1 with control, rather than just banging the ball towards where the opponent is and hoping that, you know, they do something that allows you to get back into the play. Which in this case, they do, which is great, and you make use of it by getting the ball past him and setting up your teammate. But at a higher level, that's not what's going to happen. It's a little awkward, but it works. And now we're going to get boost starved, if I remember correctly. Yep. Okay. So, here's where we talk about boost pathing. So, number one. This getting boost starved here isn't the worst thing. Honestly, I looked at this for about 5 minutes, trying to see if there was, like, any feasible paths that you could get that would make sense, and the answer is not really, because this guy is taking your mid. So number one, I wouldn't flip here because you're already beat. So trying to rush for this mid boost isn't really worth it, especially since your teammate is getting it. And realistically, this probably should be a goal, but you don't want to push too far forward on the off chance that your teammate misses, which is what happens here. But your mid boost is more than likely going to get taken either by your teammate or this guy. And then this guy is taking a bunch of pads in the midfield, meaning like the only two pads that you really could get are these two, which don't really make sense for you to hard turn that way all that much when the play is staying on this side of the field. So this isn't the worst thing. Like, there's not much you could do here. And this is fine. You take advantage of him going for the boost. Be careful of these, because you are committing as last man, and teammate is nowhere near back yet. So just make sure that you know you have this win before you jump for this, because if you get beat, it's just in your net. So just be very careful of these challenges. Luckily, you make it work. Then right here, if you want that corner boost, if you want that, you have to recognize this guy's got the ball. If he doesn't, there's nothing I'm doing here. Jump down, wave dash immediately, go get that. Like, that should be your immediate decision at this precise moment. The longer you wait on the backboard, first of all, from this spot, you're doing absolutely nothing. So you being here doesn't really do anything, doesn't put pressure on them, doesn't make anything clear for your teammate as to what you're doing. This is just kind of nothing. So make sure you're making use of your time. With that in mind, jump down, wave dash, go get that. That's fine. The reason you got boost starved here is because you don't go fast enough. Yeah, because you don't even get the wave dash there, and then you just get beat to it. Then, right here, don't tunnel vision on that mid boost. When a player steals your boost and they know you're low, if you're both going the same way, they are going to make it their mission to take every pad they can. If they can continue to starve you out, they will. So you land here, immediately, you should go get, like, these pads over here. Yeah, especially once you lose this one. Like, sure, you try to flip forward, see if you can get it. Once you lose that, definitely turn off and go here to those pads, because that'll give you at least 24. Your teammate is playing over this way, so you don't want to be in this area of the field anyway, because again, you don't want to be driving towards your teammate. So we want to get out of that area as fast as possible. So we could take like this pad, and then as the clear comes through the corner, we could look for like what else might be available. So let's see, like we come back, we get beats of that. Okay, cool. We take this one, we take this one. Teammate's got control of it in the corner. Okay, we'll take this one. Teammate wins the ball. Now we can turn upfield and we can see if this one wants to spawn. If not, we can just keep going. Lots of pads here in the midfield, plenty to work with. We could then cut over because he's 0 boost, so we might as well just go for it because he's not playing it. And now we'd have pressure on the ball with like, I don't know, 60 boost maybe, ish. Instead, you're kind of in roughly the same area, but you only got like 12. And that's just because you don't focus at all on getting small pads here. Like you get one there, but there's not really any focus as to getting on any kind of small pad line. And that's a big thing that will help you rank up. If you can focus on organizing your movement around the field based off of where those small pads are, you will make things significantly easier for yourself because you will always have boost to work with. So again, right here, look for pads. You get one, and then you like stop thinking about them. So you dodge this bump. You're not playing this ball. This is not your responsibility. I wouldn't even flip here. I would get the pad you took. That's good. I would drive back to stay on the ground. You don't need to flip. You don't need to go anywhere overly quickly. Your teammate has the first challenge here. I would then take this boost, and then I would turn this way because teammate still has that covered, and I would take this one. So now you'd have 36 boost. You'd be over here. This is fine. Your teammate takes the first challenge. You'd be like back here, and boom, free ball. Perfectly easy. But instead, you cut narrow to the play. You don't get any boost at all except for that one pad, and you're playing a ball over your shoulder like this without any knowledge about what's going on in front of you. Don't make your life more difficult. This is purely making things harder for yourself. That's not easy. This is easy. Make things simple. The best thing I can say, don't cut too narrow to the play. Utilize the boost pads to rotate wide. Set yourself up to be successful when the ball bounces off a surface. Okay, you don't want to end up directly in line with the ball. Because when you're directly in line, too many things are too difficult. You can't get any kind of power on a touch. You're pretty much at the will of whatever they want to do. Very linear in terms of what you're able to do. So if you're not going to go, turn this way. Again, stay wide. Stay between the ball and your net. Because now, like, yeah, he doesn't take control again, but, like, you have no real play to go for here. Because if you, like, choose to backflip into this, it's just going right to that guy. And the longer you wait, the more likely this guy is just going to come bump you. But if you had been, like, over here, now you could turn into this and get, like, a pinch maybe back out that way. Or some kind of touch. And you'd actually have an angle to play from as opposed to being directly in line with it, where there's not really much you can do. Because, yeah, as you can see, you get bumped. You then face plant the wall. Your recovery is slow. Luckily, you get right back to it, but this entire thing would have worked just as well if you had been over here. Because you could have gone for this. If you didn't want that, you could have waited. And then when it bounced, you could have gone for that. Much more opportunity being over here as opposed to directly in line. So try to keep that angle. Good jump. Ooh. Make sure the quality of this touch is better. You have the right idea to jump up. Like, this is fine. Just make sure you actually do something with this, because your job immediately right now is buy time for this guy to get back. Because he's going to be pretty slow. So the last thing you want to do here is put this touch anywhere dangerous. If you're going to jump, it's got to be back into their corner, not into the midfield. So yeah, make sure you just get your nose on the left side of that ball and pop it back towards the corner. Not that. Yeah, because that should have been a goal. Yeah, they missed twice. And that's just, again, poor touch. And now we're panicking again. Okay. So, poor touch, admittedly. We're in a bad spot now. We're rotating back. Your teammate got the initial touch, or initial block-ish. That's fine. He should be first. This is a fine movement here, just pressuring the midfield. This goes up the wall. I don't mind you going up the wall here. I just wouldn't jump. He's already got you beat. There's no reason to jump. The only other person who can take a shot is all the way back here at the midfield line. The last thing we want to do is take ourselves out of the play for a ball that we can't win. This is not ours. He has got us beat. Just force him to make that touch. and play off of it. From the backboard, you might be able to jump out for it once you see where it goes, or you can just stay on the backboard and play for whatever shot might be coming in. But also when he taps this out, it might give your teammate an opportunity to go, rather than you jumping for something that you really have no chance at, and now you're taking yourself out of the play, and you're going to leave yourself on 0 boost. This doesn't do much, and luckily they take the worst shot on the face of the planet. But if you hadn't gone, if you don't jump here, your teammate can just go right away and have this play. But instead he sees you jump, so he's forced to wait, which means he's in this awkward position because he might have thought he was going for the ball, but now he's forced to wait because you jumped instead when you didn't really have a chance. And now luckily this is the worst shot on the face of the planet, and the teammate can get the easy save. But you don't want to put your teammate in these positions. If you're not able to effectively go for the ball, it is okay to be aware of where your teammate is and know that they can go for it for you. The last thing you also saw was that he had a decent amount of boost. So like he's got boost to work with, and he's behind you. So with that knowledge, we do not need to panic. Just be aware of that. You don't need to panic. You can play the shot. Luckily, your teammate gets a good save and hands it right to you, and that's going to be game. As you guys can see, Rocket League becomes a much simpler game when you are more aware of what is going on the field overall. You are suddenly able to make better use of your touches on the ball, you're able to stay out of your teammates' way, and you're able to cut off what your opponents are planning on doing. So make sure as you guys are playing your own games, you really focus on your level of awareness to make sure that you are always making the best decisions possible. Of course, thank you guys so much for watching. I really do appreciate each and every one of you who made it to this point in the video, and I do hope you enjoyed it and found it helpful. If you did, make sure you click that subscribe button right down below, so you make sure you don't miss any future Rocket League content. Additionally, if you'd like to be a bit more involved in the community we're building here, feel free to join my Discord, which I'll have linked down in the description. And as always, I hope you guys have a great rest of your day, and I'll see you next time. See you later, guys.